Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I happen to know the gentleman who sponsored this petition, Simon Lenguya, is nominated by ODM to the Assembly of Narok. ODM is the largest political party in Eastern Central Africa, and I happen to be the Secretary General of the party. Mr. Speaker, allow me to say that I support the petition. That in fact, we are not arguing about whether people who have questionable education or no education at all cannot lead. But we are saying what education does is to give you or grant you the tools to be able to effectively lead. I am a strong supporter of some basic minimum level of threshold of education, not just in leadership, in everything in life. It is a tool that is available for us, and especially because a few years back when Kibaki was the president, he initiated this process of free primary education so that we really don't have an excuse as to why we cannot acquire basic education. And I know, even under the Constitution, basic education is a right. So, Mr. Speaker, people should be able to exercise and encourage people to acquire knowledge and to acquire qualifications as tools to enable them to, effectively discharge their duties. If you look at the range of decisions that have to come from the chair, or any speaker in the county assemblies, here in the Senate, in the National Assembly, there are serious issues that need consideration. And sometimes I feel personally very lucky that I'm a lawyer. And in my experience in this house, when the lawyers are seated on that chair, I feel like I'm talking to people who understand what I'm saying, as opposed to others who might. I am speaking as a lawyer. If you are a charcoal seller, you'll also stand and tell us your experience in this house. Don't heckle. So, Mr. Speaker, I will say that I feel like we are a bit lucky, those of us who have lawyers as speakers, because they are easily, they are easy to direct on matters of the law and other matters.
Senator William Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to comment on what Senator Sifuna said. Most of us in this house are not lawyers, but I just want to say it is important that we check the qualifications and the minimum qualifications that speakers are both at the county assemblies and National Assembly and Senate. Honorable Speaker, even as we put minimum qualifications, the committee also needs to evaluate the speakers of National Assembly since 63 up to now, between those who are lawyers or who are lawyers and those who were not lawyers, because we've also had speakers in the past at National Assembly who were not lawyers. Honorable Speaker, I only see one challenge on the position of Deputy Speaker, because some counties might not elect or nominate an MCA who is a lawyer. So what happens? So it's also important to look at that. You are a Deputy Speaker and you are not a lawyer and you are doing very well. You remember in the last parliament, actually the 11th parliament, the late Governor Joyce Laposo was not a lawyer and she was a Deputy Speaker. She did very well. So basically we need to look at that. Otherwise we'll put ourselves in a problem, especially at the counties, because they might not be able to elect or nominate a lawyer. So maybe we just put minimum qualifications, degree, relevant field. But for National Assembly and Senate, basically for the last few years, we've seen that most of them have been lawyers. But the last speaker of this house, Lusaka, was not a lawyer. And he did well. Thank you.
Senator Boru Ondinga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also want to add my voice to this petition. It is a very important petition, Mr. Speaker, and I believe that we need quality. We need quality in our debates. We need quality in our leadership, because, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the Speaker, as a leader, must lead with knowledge. Therefore, I believe that speakers should be people with some qualification. But I don't believe in, making speakers from lawyers. Mr. Speaker, once you understand these standing orders, we had an MP called Martin Shikuku. Martin Shikuku was a very, very good debater in the House, and he could control the House. if he was a speaker, he would have been a very, very good speaker, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, what I think is important is to have qualifications for them, but those qualifications should not be restricted to being lawyers. That is my first take, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my second take is integrity. Once you are a speaker, please remove yourself from partisan politics. Mr. Speaker, there was a speaker here called Slade, Humphrey Slade. My father was fighting for independence, but Humphrey Slade came up to Bondo to visit him. He did not fear that that person was in the opposition, and he was elected by people who are supporting Her Majesty's government. So, Mr. Speaker, once you are a speaker of everybody, and you must not be seen to be partisan in any manner.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think as the chair of the devolution, I support this petition. Because what is happening now in our assemblies is actually a very unfortunate situation. We are not saying that they